Cincinnati Bearcats, the preseason choice to win the league, taking on the 3-0 and hungry for more Memphis Tigers. As we say good evening, Joe and Jesse with you here. David Pollack not with us this week. He'll be back next week. The American Conference is off to a really strong start. Temple and Houston with good solid wins. This Memphis team, a 10-game win streak, had the bowl win against BYU. And Jesse, perhaps the best quarterback America really doesn't know well.
How about Memphis's 6'7", 245-pound junior quarterback, Paxton Lynch? I really think this guy has an opportunity to be a Heisman Trophy finalist. He's going to be an NFL draft pick. When you've watched him play, very talented. He's accurate, completing 77% of his throws. He's made good decisions, as he has to throw a pick early this year through 3 games. Tremendous arm strength. Here's a ball that goes into the wind and travels more than 60 yards. And for a guy as big as he is, he's got surprising mobility. If you do not contain him in the pocket, he can hurt you. Tonight is a big game for the Memphis football program, but I think it's also a big stage for Paxton Lynch. Nationally televised audience, a lot of Heisman Trophy voters watching this. This is a stage for him to really show himself off and really put himself on the radar for a lot of college football fans out there.
6'7", he is a big presence on the field. As for the Cincinnati quarterback situation, last week Gunnar Kiel left the game against Miami, Ohio, strained neck, cleared all the concussion protocol. Kaylee has more on what they're dealing with.
Well, Tess, Tommy Tuberville was cautiously guarded with media throughout the week about Gunnar Kiel's status, but the fact is Gunnar Kiel did not miss a beat all week long. A series after he took that hit to the back, he argued to go back into the game. He was back with his team at practice on Sunday, took through all his normal responsibilities throughout the week, albeit a short week. This staff does know the biggest story for their team tonight will be how he bounces back.
Thanks, Kaylee. With Justin Fuente, the 39-year-old hotshot coach, 4th year at Memphis. You know what they were prior to his arrival, and he's got that great pedigree with Gary Patterson at TCU and now making his own course. Of course, Tommy Tuberville, such a successful long career. 20 wins framed against 9 losses now in his 3rd year at Cincinnati. Warm evening here in the Mid-South. 87 degrees at kickoff. Cincinnati won the toss. They defer to the second half, so Memphis will receive as Andrew Gantz will be kicking away. Memphis hasn't returned a kickoff for a touchdown since 1996. 219 straight games. Sam Kraft takes it out to the 26-yard line. So here comes the 6'7" Floridian Paxton Lynch. Was grossly under-recruited, but he has blossomed here at Memphis, setting new career passing yardage marks in each of the Tigers' last 2 games. And you can see the 6 touchdowns and yet to throw an interception on the year. Lynch, that was overthrown that time as he was looking for Mayhew. See what Memphis has done already this year. That was a thrilling game last week at Bowling Green as that went back and forth. 2nd down and 10. They show the jet motion bubble. Instead, it's a good run by Kraft. He fumbles at the end of the play, and it was recovered by Cincinnati's Eric Wilson.
Now, this is huge for Cincinnati's defense early in this game. Turnovers have been the issue for their offense, and their defense hasn't been able to collect very many early this year. This was a great play call early, and you see Sam Kraft would have had the 1st down. Nice job defensively ripping the football out. And there's linebacker Eric Wilson to cover this up. Nice job tackling on the perimeter, ripping at the football. That's Leviticus Payne that forces that turnover, setting up Cincinnati and their offense and Gunnar Kiel in a great spot.
Cincinnati starts from the 36-yard line. And Gunnar completes the first ball of the day as he finds Shaq Washington. Gunnar Kiel, his 2nd year as the starter, 3rd year in the program. He arrived there in spring of 2013. Started his college career at Notre Dame, 6'4" junior. 2nd and 1. Green, as he picks up 2 and a first down.
And a really tremendous opportunity now for Cincinnati. This game features 2 of the most prolific offenses in the country. And Cincinnati comes into this one on the road knowing if they're going to win, they're probably going to have to score a lot of points. You steal a possession early in the game, and here you are now knocking on the door.
He looked screen and faked it himself, kept it, and a great decision by Keel, as it'll be 1st and goal at the 4-yard line for the Bearcats.
You see a little zone read action from Cincinnati offensively, and the ball fake had everybody on defense crashing inside. Running backs going this way. You're going to watch this outside linebacker crash inside as well and just kind of follow. There goes Tion Green. It's just open grass, and that's too easy for Gunnar Keel.
First and goal. Very good start for Cincinnati. Delayed gap pressure. He pulls it. Keel now in open space, trying to get to the corner, diving for it. And touchdown, Gunnar Keel. Back-to-back running plays for the junior quarterback, and Cincinnati's on the board.
That's as good as a start as you could have hoped for. Check this out again. See if Gunnar Keel actually gets this football across the pylon, stretching it with the right arm. Yeah, that's in before the left hand touches out of bounds. 2 back-to-back zone read plays. Good decision-making by Gunnar Keel throwing the football. Good decision-making in the zone read game on pulling the football. Gunnar Keel, a guy that has struggled a little bit his last 2 times out, forcing the football with turnover problems, off to a very, very strong start here on the road in a huge conference game.
As Andrew Gantz hits the extra point. For Sam Kraft back on kickoff. He fumbled the ball that led to that. And
went out of bounds.
Just went off his chest there.
Wow.
So another mistake by Sam Kraft early on here in good field position, or a negative way that'll aid Cincinnati. Of course, the turnaround with Justin Fuente. Before he came, limited wins, and then his first year building the program. He said, listen, numbers were an issue. Personnel had to be built up. Did it the right way. Guys bought in, and 10 wins a year ago, and that bold victory that meant so much to this program.
Really, the big question is, how do they handle the distractions? There's a lot of whispers here around Memphis about this team maybe playing in a New Year's Six bowl game. Can you handle the expectations? It's the first time they've had to do that since he's been head coach in Memphis.
So now pinned at their own 2-yard line after Kraft misplayed that kickoff. Trying to dig out of a hole. They'll do so with play action and Lynch, and unable to find breathing room that time as he was looking for Tevin Jones.
Really good coverage on the play there by Grant Coleman. But let's go back and take a look at this. Just self-inflicted wounds early here by Memphis. The fumble earlier by Sam Kraft. Now here having issues with the kick return. He was looking at the ref trying to sell a touchback on that, but Sam Kraft has to dial himself in now.
Kraft now in that stack left formation as they sprint to the near side. Lynch, pressure comes. That was almost costly, but instead it's a catch out at the 10-yard line by Mayhew.
Yeah, and
he had a defender jumping right in front of that ball, and Mayhew came with it.
And Paxton Lynch took a huge shot on that play as well. So moving the pocket, trying to get away from the pass rush. He had to slow down, get his feet set. That allowed the rush to make it to him. It's a good throw and catch now, setting up 3rd and short. Huge down here for Cincinnati's defense. They would love to force this punt and get it back in midfield.
3rd down and 1. And you saw the movement up front that time, as it was Pace coming in and making the tackle. And there was no flag there?
Yeah, I'm surprised about that. That looked to me like that was offside, and it was happening right in front of the center. On the snap, it looked like the nose guard jump. Check this out right here, number 96. He's in the neutral zone, Joe. I mean, the neutral zone is defined as the length of the football, and from that angle, it looked like Cortez Broughton was there. It was a great job penetrating. Alex Pace made the play. I think Cincinnati very lucky that wasn't an offsides and a free 1st down for Memphis.
So now Spencer Smith from his end zone. And he's able to get a hold of this one and turn it over, so a good punt gets them out of a bad situation all the way to the 35-yard line, as you see Justin Fuente questioning that 3rd down. Felt there should have been a penalty, and a little relief for his Tigers. Trips stacked to the near side. And it is picked off. And Memphis is going to score to open things up with Arthur Millette, who last week on the first possession gave up a score, and this week he does it himself.
It's a good decision by Gunnar Kiel with respect to the receiver he was throwing to. It was a poor throw, thrown behind, and a better play by Millette at cornerback. Throwing this flat route, you've got to miss it way out in front. And Millette, I think, does a great job reading the eyes of Gunnar Kiel, squatting on the route and attacking, plucking it out of the air. Pick six. Remember, turnovers have been critical mistakes early and have cost Cincinnati so dearly, Joe. That's their 12th now already on the year. That's the most in the country.
103 straight PATs now for Jake Elliott as he ties up this game at 7 apiece. As Jake Elliott will kick away and Johnny Holton waits. A big boot from the little Jake Elliott, as it'll be a touchback. How about giving it to Green as he makes his way to the 29-yard line, a gain of 4.
It's important to mention, we've talked about the turnovers that we've seen here in recent games, and 11-3.
Really dodging bullets with that number, Jess.
The good news, though, the defense up until tonight had only given away 13 points off of 11 turnovers. They're very good in sudden change situations.
A reverse this time, as it's Moore. And Chris Moore making the most of it out to the 37 for a first down.
It's important to mention that Cincinnati is down a very key player, and that's running back Mike Boone. Hurt his ankle last week against Miami of Ohio, and he's probably their most explosive player on offense, period. So Eddie Gran, the offensive coordinator, has got to find ways now with the guys he's got to dial up some explosive plays. That reverse right now, very creative and a good play call.
Play action. Pressure up the middle, trying to extend the play. And that was complete. Good effort that time by Holton.
Leonard Pegues came on a linebacker delayed blitz, free at Gunnar Kiel. You're going to see right from the middle of the offensive line. It forces him to get out of the pocket. But a good job keeping his focus downfield and an accurate throw on the run. Memphis, it's very critical that they're able to get pressure. If they can't do it with their defensive line and 3 and 4 guys only, you got to dial up the blitzes, and they've done that early.
Ready. Empty set now on first down. Batted right back in his face.
Well, that was big.
Donald Pennington getting his hand up.
Because Cincinnati had an open receiver on a double move over the middle of the field, and I think if this ball doesn't get batted, this might be a touchdown. Look at number 19, Washington on the left, running that double move. That throw gets out in front of him. That's not batted down by Donald Pennington. That might have been a touchdown. Good job of awareness by the nose tackle, knowing, hey, I'm not going to get to the quarterback, so I just got to watch his eyes, put my big arms up. Really, really smart play.
Trips bunch to the near side on 2nd and 10. Williams, nothing on the inside that time. Just a gain of a yard. Check in with Kelly.
Hey guys, Cincinnati's coaching staff, particularly defensive coaches, seem to be having some trouble with their headsets. Kenny Ingram, defensive tackles coach, is getting his headset switched out right now. And Robert Parenti, co-defensive coordinator, just got a new one.
Now, Kelly, as you know, if the officials are aware of that, they'll go over to the Memphis side as well. Check on their headsets and look to even things up if that's the case for prolonged lack of communication from the booth down to the sideline. 3rd and 9 now. Pressure on Kiel as he threw it too far to the outside of Chris Moore.
And this is just a strong bull rush right up the middle of this defense. Latarius Brady, number 14. Watch him lined up over the left guard right here. He just gets walked right back into the quarterback. Tremendous effort. Gunnar Kiel has to throw that earlier than he's ready to. It's been a nice answer drive by Cincinnati after the interception for a touchdown to put themselves in field goal range, but big plays here by Memphis's defense in their own red zone to force the field goal.
35-yard attempt by Andrew Gantz, who was 15 of 16 inside of 40 in his career. And he's able to get it right in. So Cincinnati cashes in on that drive. The sophomore kicker, Andrew Gantz, 35 yards away. And he breaks the tie early on here in Memphis. More to come. Stay with us. Here is Oglesby on the return, as he is wrestled down at about the 17-yard line. Jet motion play action, vertical release, and complete for a big gainer and more. Anthony Miller. Touchdown, Tigers. Miller time for 82 yards.
Paxton Lynch found the matchup that he wanted on this play. He had wide receiver Anthony Miller matched up one-on-one with the true freshman safety, Malik Clements. Or sorry, that's not him. That's 13, Grant Coleman, starting field corner. I thought it was a safety on this play. Just a beautiful throw, understanding where to go with it right out of the gate. You can see record-setting pace offense. They're averaging 54 points a game. It does not take them long to dial up explosive plays.
So Memphis scores on an 82-yard reception after their first score was a 59-yard interception return. Who needs those move the chains first down drives? The big arm Paxton Lynch, his 7th passing touchdown of the season, as Anthony Miller went racing down the sidelines, turned on the speed, left the man behind, and then maybe a little too much celebration on the back end. As Jake Elliott kicks away. Remember the penalty, so this is fielded at the 15 by Holton. Johnny Holton with a decent return.
Yeah, I think on this last touchdown, Joe, true freshman safety Malik Clemens' eyes got him in trouble here. Here he's in a situation to double cover the slot receiver. When the jet sweep motion happens, though, he follows all of the eye candy. Watch him kind of get caught inside. Now, at this point, with the receiver gone out of the slot, he needs to be helping at the top of the screen in double coverage, and he's not. It's a one-on-one matchup. It's won by Anthony Miller. Paxton Lynch knew where to go with the football, and this is what happens when you play young, talented guys. You see all of the defensive changes they've made, and Malik Clements, unbelievably talented. Tommy Tuberville knew his young guys would make some mistakes. The only way for them to get better, though, is to get them on the field, and that's something this young player is going to learn. They're going to get better. Growing pains of playing youth.
There's Jose Williams as he's able to turn the corner and lower the shoulder with that 5'9", 200-plus pound body.
Yeah, we talked about Tion Green earlier being a little bit more physical. Jose Williams, to me, is impressive because of his vision and his patience. I think he does a really good job setting up blocks. And you see that time there, just stutter-stepping a little bit, giving himself the opportunity to get outside.
2nd and 2, Keel is going to give to Williams, and Williams is met and stacked up by Noah Robinson and the rest of that front 7.
I tell you, Donald Pennington, the nose tackle for Memphis, is having himself a game here early in this game. Whether it's him or whether it's Jared Gentry, true freshman who's in the game right now, they're dominating the point of attack right in the middle of Cincinnati's offensive line, and it's making it very, very difficult for Cincinnati to run between the tackles.
Keel pulls it, and it was the right read. Boy, he almost took a shot to the head there. There's a penalty, and they are saying that was to the head. Lanier came in, and Keel is laid out motionless on the turf. That is not a good scene at all.
Wow.
Remember, he was down like this last week as well. He was able to pass all the concussion protocols and practiced all week. It was a strained neck, but this is not a good scene after that hit by Lanier. 14-10, but there is a pall hanging over this stadium as Gunnar Kiel was knocked out of the game. A scary scene. They're going to transport him to University of Memphis Hospital. We're going to make a decision to send Kaylee over there to get the latest on Gunnar Kiel and keep you up to date as to what is happening with Cincinnati's starting quarterback. We hope the best. Thoughts and prayers with Kiel and his family. If there is a defenseless opponent and forcible contact to the head or neck area is the case, then that is also a form of targeting.
Check this out. Gunnar Kiel's going to give himself up here, sliding down. Here come, you see, I mean, it happens very, very quickly, and we've had a chance to watch it on replay a couple times up here, Joe, and it looks as though, you know, that shoulder or made contact.
It doesn't matter if it's the shoulder. Yep. It doesn't have to be the helmet. It can be the shoulder,
elbow,
the forearm, the elbow, anything.
Yep. Now Cincinnati back in the game with their backup quarterback and Hayden Moore. And one thing Cincinnati does have is a lot of maturity around him. Hayden Moore is only a freshman, but everybody else around him on the field is either a senior or a junior. He's got 6 senior wide receivers that can make plays. Veteran offensive line, 2 running backs that are upperclassmen. These guys now need to pick up the young freshman. They got to make plays for him. He can't do it all by himself.
Here's Green as he muscles his way just beyond the 31-yard line that time.
Yeah, you know what's impressive is the physicality of Memphis up front in their front 7. They got a lot of new faces. They lost 5 starters from a year ago in their front 7, but these guys are big, physical guys that give a lot of effort, and right now they're dominating in the trenches in the middle of this offensive line.
2nd and 7 now with Hayden Moore, the redshirt freshman quarterback. He's going to take a shot downfield, and he's able to connect. Chris Moore. So the backup quarterback comes in, and Cincy strikes.
And this is impressive when you consider Chris Moore, number 15, is not 100% healthy. He's suffering from a bit of an ankle injury. Coach Tuberville told us yesterday that he's only 70%. Well, if that's 70%, that's pretty good, because he just split the corner and the safety with raw speed. And what a throw by Hayden Moore. You want to talk about guys making a play for your quarterback? There's a senior in Chris Moore going down and getting the ball.
And Gantz puts it through. So Gunnar Kiel injured. Hayden Moore steps in and isn't bashful at all. Wanted it all, got it all. Touchdown, Cincinnati, 17-14 lead, Bearcats. You know, the American has the new 12-team, 2-division format and a conference championship game. So the trophy is here, and they're hoping it'll be here at the end of the year. It's been good news in the conference with a big uptick. You know, there's also been success with Houston against Louisville and Temple earlier against Penn State, but Big Ten with the mandate to play at least one Power 5 non-conference team. And Cincy, who's in front of us tonight, Big Ten says they qualify. As Oglesby on the return. As Lynch able to get it complete to Miller. Remember, he had the big one earlier.
You know, the thing I love about Memphis's offense, there's a lot of eye candy. They live off misdirection, a lot in the same way that Oregon, Auburn, and Ohio State do. You'll see receivers in motion faking jet sweeps, linemen pulling, they're faking handoffs, trying to get the defense misaligned to hit a home run shot.
Good job hitting the hole that time by Cooper. No hesitation at all.
He doesn't, and at 245 pounds, he's a load to bring down. This guy runs violently, and he runs very, very hard. He sees the hole, puts his foot in the ground, and hits it. When that guy gets into the second level of the defense, guys do not want to tackle him.
2nd and 2, Lynch with a lot of options, and he gets the crossing that time with Alan Cross.
I think he's one of the most underrated and unsung heroes in this offense. Alan Cross is a great blocker at tight end. He's a big reason why they have so much success running the football outside the tackles, and they do a really good job sneaking him out on routes. He's got really good hands. You see there a delayed flat route. A nice job by Lynch finding him.
First down run as LFB came up with the tackle.
I think the strength of the Cincinnati defense, of what I've seen on tape, is in the interior. It's the defensive tackle, and they've got a lot of depth. It's not just Broughton and Pace that we saw earlier, but you see now Sione Tongamoa Norman Oglesby at backup, making plays.
Good misdirection this time. As Cooper, look at him go, Jess.
And this is what I'm talking about with the eye candy. You've got a receiver coming across in a jet sweep, and then you've got linemen pulling the other way. You got this happening, but then there's a lineman coming this way, and the defense doesn't know which way to go. Should we go right or should we go left? Different guys get out of position. Poor tackling by Cincinnati, and an explosive play for this Memphis offense. Hard guy to bring down. I don't blame you for going for his ankles.
Sam Kraft now. As Kraft had such a struggle at the beginning of this game with the fumble and then misplaying the kickoff return, so he's back to action, wrapped up by Kevin Brown.
Okay, good wrapping up, and that's going to be the key. Game tackling, too, for the Cincinnati defense. They counted 18 missed tackles last week in their win against Miami of Ohio. Against all these explosive playmakers for Memphis offensively, bad tackling cannot happen tonight if you're a Bearcats.
Kraft trying to wiggle his way inside the 10-yard line.
And Joe, this is an area of the field in the red zone that Memphis has been so efficient in. This year, 19 drives in the red zone, 16 touchdowns. That's the most in the country. They're really, really good here.
Jet motion, the handoff, touchdown, Memphis. Mose Frazier. Cut it right up and put it right in.
Tremendous block on the perimeter here, but watch the tight end Montiel get outside and get a big block. There's the cutback lane for Mose Frazier. Success running the football outside on jet sweeps. It's one of the best things Memphis does offensively. You've got to have good blocking on the perimeter. Their tight end, both Alan Cross and Daniel Montiel, both making big plays here on that drive.
Entertaining back and forth here. Mose Frazier did this for 60 yards against Kansas. Short, but just as sweet here against Cincinnati. Joe, Jesse, and Kaylee with you here at Memphis. University of Memphis, originally known as West Tennessee State Normal School. Started back in 1912. First football team was 3 years later in 1915. I'm digging the stripes there, Palmer.
The stripes are always a good play. Thinning. What about the normal school versus the unnormal school? But that's because of the street it was on. Is that right? Normal street? Am I making that up?
Just go with it, my man.
Okay, I'm just going to go with it.
2nd and 15. And here is Morrison.
Whether it's been Gunnar Kiel or whether it's been Hayden Moore, this offensive line has done a good job setting up a clean pocket from these quarterbacks to throw from. They've had a lot of time to get rid of it, and now you see Cincinnati cranking the tempo back up. It's been a multi-tempo offense early in this game.
Morrison's reception gives them a first down just beyond the 40. And able to connect this time with Johnson.
It's the second time you've seen the different wrinkles Cincinnati can throw at you with the zone read. You're just going to fake this handoff, but it's not about Hayden Moore running with it. He's got attachments with receivers running routes. Everybody remembers the Iron Bowl a few years ago, Auburn, Alabama.
How about
Sammy
the pop pass last week by Ole Miss?
No doubt about it. This is becoming a bigger thing in college football, and Cincinnati has it dialed up.
That effort was too far to the right as Holton went up after it.
You know, I wonder on that play if Hayden Moore thought he had a free play. It looked as though the nose guard for Memphis had jumped offside. We've seen that happen a couple times already. And they're attacking Arthur Mallett. That's the guy that Bowling Green went after last week, had a lot of deep throws. Now, Memphis has to be on high alert. They've already given up a long touchdown pass. And their defensive coordinator, Galen Scott, told them all week, guys, keep the football in front of you. You gave up a 62, 94-yard and 62-yard TD throw last week. You've already given up a long one tonight. From now on, keep it in front.
Second down throw. That was a little too high for McKay.
This is what Memphis defense needs to do. You got to set up 3rd and long with a young quarterback. You got to make him beat you, make him make throws in critical down and distances.
Getting loud here at the Liberty Bowl. 3-0 Memphis, these fans who have rallied, they really believe in this team. Moore looking over his options. And he had for a moment Shaq Washington, but it was leading him just a little too much.
Cincinnati's got a kicker in Andrew Gantz, who's made a 46-yarder. That's the long this year. Trotting him out here onto the field. You know, points so precious. Every possession in a game like this, with offenses as explosive as these two that can rack up points and yards the way they can, every one of these possessions is so critical to come away with points.
49-yard attempt, and for Andrew Gantz, 47 is his career long.
Wow, that looked like that was going right.
Great effort that time by Gantz. A former walk-on, earned himself a scholarship and closed this game to just one. Good action here in Memphis tonight. (21-20) Memphis, as Cincinnati has been playing without their starting quarterback, Gunnar Kiel. It was a scary moment earlier tonight, Jesse. We spoke to the replay booth. Explain how this isn't targeting.
This is not targeting because they're not seeing Gunnar Kiel as being a defenseless player. He wasn't already on the ground when the contact was made. Had he been on the ground, he would have been defenseless. He was in the process of sliding, therefore not defenseless, therefore there cannot be targeting.
One of the two qualifiers for targeting. Details.
Well, I should say what's important there too, but also
opponent.
no contact with the crown of the helmet.
That's the other
If a guy's not defenseless and there's no contact made with the crown of the helmet,
correct,
then there's no target.
As Oglesby has to return. Two forms of targeting: the contact with the crown of the helmet, no matter where,
exactly,
or what you're describing as the forcible contact to the head neck area of a defenseless opponent.
Just a very violent play.
As Lynch comes to the near side to Henderson, freshman running back.
Both of these teams right now trading possessions and trading points. Every third down, so critical, they become magnified. Cincinnati obviously early in the game stealing the possession with a turnover, which led to points. Huge opportunity here on third down. Remember, Memphis is converting 53% of these coming into the game, 7th best in the country.
3rd and 5, double stack release here for the receivers. And he had a man for a moment, but it was incomplete as he was trying to find Phil Mayhew, covered by Gilbert.
Good pressure off the edge by Silverberry Muhan from Cincinnati, which forces the throw early, and really good coverage. And there's really only one place that Paxton Lynch could put that football and give Phil Mayhew an opportunity to make the play, but big stand by this Cincinnati defense here.
Here's Smith on the punt as he turns it over to the 29-yard line where Washington returns it, and a flag is down as Washington dove ahead to the 36. So a first down past midfield for Cincinnati. And Williams, look at him churn those legs for a gain of 8.
You give Cincinnati life, you know, you give them extra possessions in a game that, again, we expect to be very high scoring. When all of these critical third downs count, possessions count, just cannot afford to make those mistakes. And for Cincinnati, now you've got to make them pay.
Little bubble screen, good block that time, a first down and a bit more from Nate Cole as he picked up a good block from Chris Moore.
Yeah, the execution level on offense right now tonight with Hayden Moore in the game versus last week against Miami of Ohio is completely night and day. I mean, I can't stress enough. Hayden Moore looks comfortable, poised, knows where he wants to go with the football. He's dialed in.
This already their 47th play tonight. To the end zone he goes, but he overthrows Holton, who was covered by Mollett.
Yeah, Mollett, for the most part in this game, he's playing very well in his one-on-one matchups. We talked about him being the guy that get picked on last week against Bowling Green. They kept throwing it over his head. He's competing with bigger, more physical wide receivers. Johnny Holton doing a very nice job on an island on the perimeter field by himself.
Moore trying to spin his way to the 15-yard line. And that's where they will set up with their third down.
Again, Donald Pennington at nose guard making a big play. The interior of that defensive line holding up, and it's been a big reason why tonight in this area of the field, Memphis's defense in the red zone, they've been pretty good.
Empty set on 3rd and 7 for Hayden Moore. They were looking for an inside tunnel screen with Johnny Holden, but it really never had a chance. Ricky Hunter had pressure, and that side of things was blown up, Jess.
Yeah, you're going to see the defense doing a nice job. The linebacker gets out under it, Jackson Dillon. Just good pursuit to the football and physical play at the corner on the wide receiver, forcing yet another field goal attempt. Remember, 2 of these ago, Memphis got a big block. These are not by any stretch gimmies right now for Cincinnati.
As Andrew Gantz moments ago had his career long, a 49-yarder, this from 32. A nice ball up and through from Gantz. And Cincinnati has a 2-point lead. Oglesby able to cut all the way against the grain here. Jalen Oglesby finally wrestled down by Carter Jacobs.
Very impressive true freshman is Jalen Oglesby. A guy that's made plays early this year as a wide receiver, and he's leaving an impact on special teams as well, and a lot of it is just his own effort. Fielding this kick, they've got middle block set up, so he's got to race back in between the hashes to let those blocks go to work, and you see his ability in the open field.
So now 6'7" Paxton Lynch trots back out there with that Memphis offense as he just watched the 4th lead change of the game. Play action. Lynch. So fluid downfield, and that is complete to Proctor. And they are going to mark him out where it'll be 1st and goal, Memphis. 61-yard reception.
And a wide open Proctor. Just got completely lost in this play. You're going to see him here working in the slot. It's a double move corner route, and he gets the safety. It's the true freshman Malik Clements completely turned around.
Did I just mention we had our 4th lead change of the game? Are you ready for the 5th in this first half alone?
It's what we anticipate. They got their big back here, Jarvis Cooper, at 245 pounds in the game.
Cooper, they run power, and he brings power. The guard pulled right to the hole. Cooper took 245 pounds, and he crossed the line.
They took true freshman middle linebacker Bryce Jenkinson and safety Zach Edwards along with them. Check this out. They've got a deep stable. Sam Kraft, Jarvis Cooper, Derolin Dorcius. Got a lot of guys that touch the football. We expected an offensive shootout. We're getting one here tonight in the American.
Fun game here in Memphis. As Elliott puts forth the 51st point of our evening with still over 4 minutes to go in the half. Jake Elliott's got a heck of a leg, puts it through the end zone. 50th snap from scrimmage for Cincy. Moore with time, and he gets it over to the far side that time to Morrison.
You know, I think one thing you're concerned with as a staff, as a young freshman quarterback now, you're in this shootout game, and, you know, you worry maybe he's going to press a little bit and get greedy and try and force the football in a place that he should, try to go toe-to-toe with Paxton Lynch. And so far, Hayden Moore hasn't done that. He's been very, very poised, under control.
Here's Green, hesitated for a moment and then able to move the chains.
And it's really, really big in the big picture. You know, Cincinnati, you know, having ball control, and it's been very different. Now, these numbers far outweigh what Memphis has. Now remember, the pick 6 is a big reason why, and Memphis hasn't needed a lot of plays because they've already scored twice on long explosive touchdown passes.
Here's Moore, downfield. And he connects with Chris Moore again. 68-yard touchdown earlier, and now this.
Now the exact same play. It's a post throw down the middle of the field, and Chris Moore at 70%, a senior making a play for his freshman quarterback. That was a great read by Hayden Moore. There was a corner blitz coming off, lined up over top of Chris Moore, so right away Moore knew where to go with it. Moore to Moore, that's been a story on offense early in this game.
Quarterback run, nothing doing. As they were able to get in the backfield right away.
And this is what Hayden Moore saw earlier. This right here, jumping up on the bubble screen. Right now he's got a one-on-one matchup, receiver versus a safety. You got to take that as a quarterback. Very impressed with Hayden Moore, the decisions, the accuracy, throwing at all 3 different levels of the field. And how about this guy, 15, Chris Moore? Not 100%. But making big plays.
After Memphis's first tackle for loss of the game, now a 2nd and 11. Green, how about another TFL? Back-to-back this time by Suttles.
Inside this defensive line, right over the center and right over the left tackle. Penetration up front by Memphis's defense. A lot of new players from a year ago, a lot of more inexperience. They've got guys that got ability, now setting up 3rd and long. Now, if you're Hayden Moore, a freshman, you cannot take a sack. You're in field goal range. If you don't have the first down, throw this football away. Don't lose the yardage.
Here's Moore to the end zone. Touchdown, Cincinnati, Shaq Washington. We got dueling offenses here in the Liberty Bowl tonight. Back and forth they go.
A great route by Shaq Washington in the slot. This is a double move. We used to call this a pump route. Look at number 19, fakes the out, and then he runs up north.
Unsportsmanlike foul. Number 19 of the offense.
I just can't say enough about how well Hayden Moore is playing early in this game.
It was 3rd and 15. And Hayden Moore with a 21-yard touchdown strike. And Jess, I hope you're enjoying your 6th lead change of the game. Hayden Moore, 255 yards, 2 touchdowns off the bench. Cincinnati 30-28. Time for the Land Rover halftime report. Gentlemen, take it away. What a show these 2 offenses in the American have put on tonight. Cincinnati 30-28 with backup quarterback Hayden Moore throwing for 255 yards and a couple of touchdowns. Of course, he's in the game because Gunnar Kiel was knocked out of the game. We've had 6 lead changes moments ago. Kaylee with head coach Tommy Tuberville.
Coach, what do you know about Gunnar Kiel's status?
Well, I really don't know a whole lot other than the fact they got him in the hospital. He's feeling pretty good, but he had a little bit of numbness and you know, hands and stuff. So they're just going to be very precautious. You know, it's not a head. You know, it's more in the neck, and he's had that problem before. So we're praying for him. I think he'll be better.
What do you make of the way Hayden Moore stepped in?
He's done good. He's surprised everything. I think he surprised Memphis too. You know, he's real cool. You know, he's in there laughing in the locker room at halftime. He doesn't know what he's getting into because this half they're going to put a lot more pressure on him. So we got to be able to run the ball a little bit better, you know, and probably get him out of the pocket some. But I'm proud of him. I'm proud of the whole team. You know, they've got a good offense, and I'm glad we were able to stay in there with them. Now we got to take this opening drive and make a statement, you know, the first drive.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Should be proud of his redshirt freshman, Hayden Moore, as he has dueled with Paxton Lynch, the 6'7" junior from Memphis, who has been setting career passing yardage marks the past couple of games, and much heralded and talked about Good-looking quarterback for the Tigers.
Talked about 6 different lead changes. Is that what you said?
Yep.
That's what happens when you have these quarterback duels. One's the usual suspect, what you expected from Paxton Lynch, and then meanwhile, Hayden Moore just coming out of nowhere, going throw to throw.
He's going to test him downfield. What an effort that time by Chisholm to just go up and make that catch there.
Yeah, he's had senior
Obviously out of
receivers
bounds.
that making a lot of plays for him tonight and climbing the ladder. And Alex Chisholm here palms the football with his right hand. Did he get any footing? No, it's way out of bounds. Good call. And again, confident play call, shot on first down.
And there's Green being wrapped up that time by McManus. First half stats where Cincinnati had 58 plays, possessed the ball for 20 and a half minutes.
And that's big to know. That's on pace to go 116. My Canadian math is right. And
I think that 13th grade usually has a big payoff with it.
So can Memphis's defense hold up? Do they have the conditioning? Do they have the depth to hold up here in what's become a high-scoring game?
3rd down and 6. Here comes the pressure. They pick it up, and it is an incredible interception. Regis Ball just pinned it against his helmet. Amazing effort from Ball.
It's an incredible effort on a ball that looked like it could have gone either way. Watch this. So he catches it, and then the receiver gets his paw on it. They're wrestling with it to the ground, but he's in bounds. He comes up with possession in bounds. I was looking at that again to see, does any part of his body touch out of bounds before he has control? Look at 2 hands on it, strong hands.
Just a little Tyree to that.
Yeah,
just a touch.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't against the helmet.
Not full-fledged,
okay,
but it was.
You're not going to put it there yet.
No.
It's not yet. It's not that yet.
Yeah.
But, hey, turnovers. This defense has given up a lot of yards. That's their 2nd takeaway on the game now. That's big.
The backfield now is Kraft, and he is driven back that time. As it was Eric Wilson again, who's had a very active night for this defense.
You see there Eddie Grand, the offensive coordinator, talking with his quarterback. You don't know how they're going to respond to situations like this. Played so well in the first half. Now it's been tough sledding here in the second half. You got to keep his spirits high. You got to talk him through the adjustments, because this picture that Memphis is giving him now, we talked about changing it, a lot more pressure.
3rd down and 6. Lynch, as he guns it complete to Miller. Anthony Miller has had a good night. Had the 82-yard touchdown catch earlier, and now converts here for the Tigers.
It's another example of velocity on a deep in route from Paxton Lynch. Had a really clean pocket to throw from. Small windows, the further you throw it down the field on those in routes in the middle of zones. Just excellent execution by Memphis offense.
And now in rhythm is Lynch finding Phil Mayhew.
Another gun. This one was way more difficult, though. This one Lynch threw a little bit behind his receiver, Mayhew. Watch us right over the middle of the screen. He reaches way back and plucks that out of the air.
1st down at the 16. Dorcius. And that's a tackle for loss by Mike Tyson. You have a defense with a Lyndon Baines Johnson and a Mike Tyson.
And a Silverberry Muhan. And a Leviticus Payne.
The all-names team defense.
All-name defense. This is an area of the field too, Joe. Memphis tonight, 2 for 2 touchdowns in the red zone on drives.
And instead they come to the near side with Lynch. Extending the play, almost intercepted off the deflection as Zach Edwards had a chance.
It's another good example of having great eye discipline by Cincinnati's defense. You got a fake jet sweep, you got guys running all over the place, but everybody's covered. Cincinnati's got all receivers on the move covered, and that throw barely, almost intercepted. That would have been the first interception on the season for Paxton Lynch.
Given the same formation, let's see if they come with a different look. Here's the jet motion again. This time they go with a misdirection with Dorcius, and they read it well. That was Tyson again.
And again,
as well as Brown.
And another example, Joe. You got a late
flag
coming in now, yeah.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 72 of the offense. Penalty is 15 yards, 4th down.
That's Tate, who made his first start last week.
At the top of the screen here, it's a freshman, Tate. See, just late there, kind of gets a hit on Leviticus Payne. Oh, how much of that was acting or how much of that was significant impact. But again, young mistake, or a mistake by a young player and a freshman, costing Memphis. And in a 2-point game right now, what would have been a chip shot field goal now, not so automatic.
Now this will be a 40-yarder for Jake Elliott. Had a 52-yarder last week. Now from 40. He's just got a real fluid motion to him, and he puts it right through. And with that, 3-0 Memphis has the lead again. Our 7th lead change. The interception set it up. 31-30, fun night here. Glad you're with us here. 31-30, Memphis on top. Of course, Green back in at running back. Remember, they're without Mike Boone, their best receiving running back, and also a guy who's had touchdowns in 9 of the last 11 games tonight. He's out injured. Report on Parker Anger, starting left tackle for Cincinnati, as he was just dealing with some cramps here. Hot night in Memphis.
You know that this is becoming much more difficult for Hayden Moore now. You notice pre-snap, all these blue jerseys, they're moving around a little bit more and trying to give Hayden Moore some different pictures, making him think twice.
Another bad snap, low into the outside. He secures it though and gets the completion for a first down and more to Morrison. Well done by Hayden Moore.
Yeah, really good job. There's been a couple times tonight when shotgun snaps have been errant. He's been able to kind of scoop them up. Just palms that with his left hand, knows exactly where to go with the football. That time Memphis bringing a corner blitz, they couldn't get home. Got out of the hands of Moore too quickly.
Green just fighting his way back to the line of scrimmage as he's tackled by Suttles.
You know what's really interesting about Cincinnati's running back situation is these guys actually substitute themselves.
I marvel at that.
Yeah,
how does that work,
well,
Jesse?
Normally coaches are the ones that decide which guy goes in the game, but they have a very unselfish group. Tion Green, Jose Williams, one guy gets tired, he just taps out and the other guy comes in.
Well, Eddie Gran, the offensive coordinator, he was down there at Auburn. He had Cadillac and Ronnie Brown, that group down there, and he says they used to do it down there with that level of talent. What a nice effort that time by Morrison. He's putting together a good game. He said, you know, it's an unselfish room, and they work well with it.
Yeah, they certainly do. As you see them taking a look at Morrison here after that hit. Cincinnati, when that penalty, kind of keeping the drive alive, and they've kind of got it rolling again. It looks like Hayden Moore's kind of refound his comfort zone, his groove.
And can they discover the lead again? As Washington was forced out that time.
But going back to the running backs, you know, it's interesting. You know, you'll watch tape of these guys, and there'll be one running back in the game, and he's kind of running it hard, and there's Eddie Gran, the coordinator, and he's watching his guy march the offense down the field. He gets close to the goal line, takes himself out of the game, and gives the other guy the touchdown. Unselfishness. It's incredible and something you just don't really ever see.
2nd and 3 to the end zone. He was looking for that vertical release, but that was Holton.
Well, McKay
getting tied up.
Yeah, the receiver, Mikhail McKay, was not looking for it.
That's right.
He was actually downfield blocking, and that's another example of that zone read game when the quarterback keeps the football and doesn't hand it off. These receivers need to be aware that he might throw it to him. It's an example of the quarterback and receiver not on the same page. So a monster now, 3rd and 3.
Off the edge it comes. And it is incomplete. And sliding down there near the goal line was Washington, but it was defended by Dion Whitty. You know, Collins also getting involved.
It's been, in a lot of ways, a bend-don't-break defense by Memphis tonight. They've already given up almost 500 yards of offense. But in the red zone, in 7 possessions, they've only allowed 2 touchdowns. And, of course, they have the 2 takeaways, 1 pick 6. Total yardage never really tells the story between wins and losses. It's situational football, and from that standpoint, I think Memphis's defense, for the most part, has been really good tonight.
Andrew Gantz.
He's got that slice kick. That's the second time tonight that thing looks like it's going left.
This kid's 4 out of 5 tonight and gives Cincinnati the lead again. 8th lead change as Gantz has had a big night here. Here's Oglesby again on the return as he patiently makes his way past the 25-yard line as he was found by Eric Wilson. First half, we had 683 yards of combined offense and 58 points. How about 6 points since then?
All of the defensive fans that we lost in the first half, they're back. This is the kind of football
I think Chris
game
Spielman
they
may
like.
have tuned us out at that point. Yes.
Hopefully someone, he's got this on his Watch ESPN app or someone's tweeting him.
Spiels, come back to us, man. We found defense again,
You're going to
Spiels.
love this. This is right down your alley.
Empty set for Paxton Lynch, the 6'7" quarterback, and that was through the hands of Sam Kraft. Paxton is trying to work that stash look a bit.
Yeah. It's not easy when you're in college. Some guys do it better than others. I'll say this. He already has a way better mustache than I probably had last year.
Junior from Florida now, 2nd and 10. Look at the legs on Paxton Lynch. You know, for a big guy, he gets going and he can make something of it.
Yeah, it's very remarkable. He's got deceptive speed, those long strides. They pick up a lot of surface area. 6'7", kind of reminds me of Brock Osweiler. Remember him from Arizona State?
Yep.
Kind of this tall, lengthy guy that you just don't think is going to be able to run fast, but as he gets into the second level, man, he's moving.
Play action off the jet motion here. Lynch with time. Downfield strike and stretching out and getting it is Jones. Jones had the glory end of a flea flicker last week against Bowling Green. 21-yard reception here. Gonna run option, and Lynch chooses correctly as Jenkinson had to chase him down.
You know, the foundation of this offense is zone read, and off of that, they do so many things. Jet sweeps, options, they throw the football to wide receivers. It can stress you in so many ways, and it makes it so much more dangerous when you got a quarterback like Paxton Lynch that can run and throw it.
Last play of the third quarter. As Kraft was flipped over there. Good job by Zach Edwards, the safety. Defense stepped up in that third quarter. Moore found that out. We got a good one here in the Liberty Bowl. 8 lead changes. Could be a wild finish here in Memphis. As the coaching staff and Hayden Moore, backup quarterback who's been forced into action tonight, trying to plot the course of their action as Memphis is looking to retake the lead here. 6'7" quarterback Paxton Lynch stretching out, trying to make that line.
Yeah, we just saw Hayden Moore on the sideline there talking to a lot of coaches, and right now they're making sure that their young freshman is dialed in because the pressure, the different blitzes that Memphis is throwing him can get overwhelming. You got to make sure your protections are tight. You got to make sure your decisions are tight.
4th down and 1. Lynch to the edge and gets a lot more than one.
There's the speed by a 6'7", 245-pound quarterback. This play is designed to go in between the tackles right in the front. He's going to fake the jet sweep, and right there he just sees the edge. Left tackle does a nice job giving that to him. You can see he's not one-dimensional.
Here's Lynch on first down. And he's just going to burn this.
And again, talking about Lynch, this is such a big stage for him. You know, there's a lot of fans throughout college football outside of the American Conference that don't know who he is. And he had a very good year last year, leading this team to 10 wins and a share of the American Championship and a big bowl win against BYU. Those are the only two teams that gave this kid a shot.
There's a strike right on the hands of Tevin Jones. I mean, he put it right in there, Jess.
But I think that's where being 6'7" really comes into play. From the pocket, he could see the entire field over all of these offensive and defensive linemen. The trajectory of that football is actually going down because from the release point, it's so high. I mean, he's releasing that football at about 7 feet tall.
Nice looking play that time as Alan Cross will give Memphis the lead again. That is now 12 touchdowns for the former walk-on long snapper, who now is the all-time leader for touchdowns by a tight end in Memphis history.
He's the unsung hero of this offense. We talked about the eye candy. The play fake right up the middle freezes the defense out here. Just got their eyes in the backfield. The tight end able to sneak out. They do such a good job, I think, in their system of getting Alan Cross open on routes underneath.
(38-33). They faced a fourth down on that drive. It wasn't an issue with Paxton Lynch in control. And then Alan Cross, his first touchdown of the year, and the Tigers are on top again.
That's a great air guitar. Great. What do you call that thing? It's a cheerleader's cheered horn thing. What is that?
A megaphone?
Whatever you call it.
And as Holton taken down by Northern. Moore, this time across the field.
Oh, wow.
I mean, did he stretch and ask for every bit of it there?
He throws
with
this,
a defender just lingering.
Yeah, he decided to throw this over Wynton McManus in the slot. When that left his hand, I immediately thought to myself, pick six.
He's a confident one, is the redshirt freshman from Alabama. And now he's in rhythm with Washington. And how about this? From being pinned deep to now moving the ball out towards midfield.
Yeah, and they're running the football and they're using the play action to set up short throws to try and take the pressure and try and beat this pressure. You see again, offensive coordinator Eddie Grant.
Look at the time on first down. Oh my, Max Morrison. "40-yard touchdown, Moore to Morrison."
All the way down the field too, Joe. Tremendous drive. And watching this live, I actually thought Morrison might have pushed off a little bit. Check this out at the very end. He's got his left hand out there. I mean, this is not a huge push, and I guess the best receivers do a good job of making it kind of look very nonchalant. But nonetheless, give Cincinnati credit.
And with the score 39-38 as it stands right now, instead of going for the extra point, they're going to go for two to try to make it a 3-point margin.
You got to remember, in this situation, Hayden Moore is a good runner. He's very athletic, carried 11 times last week in the comeback win against Miami of Ohio.
The math says do it here in the fourth quarter. 3-point margin is where you want to be.
That does you no good if you're only up on
That's right. Moore. And that is out of bounds as he was looking at Chisholm. So the 10th lead change of the game. 10th lead change of the game leaves us at 39-38.
But Joe, take a look at this. And this is really close. Take a look at this again.
Does he have firm control? That's an incredible effort.
And his toes are touching the ground. The question is,
there
no,
it is. You see that movement of the
ball. A little
ball?
bit of bobble. You got to control, possess it all the way through the entire process.
I mean, Chisholm gave a great effort there.
We've seen a couple of unbelievable. The best catches tonight, by the way, have been ones that don't count.
There's been a lot of best stuff tonight. When you got 39-38 on the board, who knows how it'll wrap up? Jesse, I appreciate you taking out your iPhone down at Silky O'Sullivan's last night on Beale Street. What time did you roll in from good old Silky's?
I think I was with you at dinner last night, not on Beale Street.
Oh, what a dinner that was.
But good try. I did drive by it today, though, by the way, during lunch. It didn't look like that.
That was actually a live shot of Beale Street in downtown Memphis. We're not far away at the Liberty Bowl, where it has been a thriller between Cincinnati and 3-0 Memphis. Oglesby now, and here goes Oglesby. This is how it's gone all night long. Back and forth they go.
It's just, you kind of get the feeling in this game, with the way that both offenses are playing, which quarterback has the football in his hands last. And that could be what determines who wins tonight's match.
For now, it is Paxton Lynch. And here goes Lynch. He's got a lot of room in front of him as he steps out inside the 40-yard line. Just a smart play from Paxton Lynch.
It's a good job controlling traffic. He's rolling to his right, and he knows he's going to run with the football, and he knows the receiver out there has man-to-man coverage with the defender with his head turned. So he points him up the sidelines and basically clears open the space to get himself some more rushing yards. Just very heads-up play by Lynch.
Counter from Kraft now as he patiently waits for the block and is able to get just inside the 30-yard line, tackled by Tyson.
You know, what makes this offense difficult to stop too is just the fact that there's so many guys that can do multiple things well. You've got 3 running backs that play that can all catch. You've got 4 receivers that can all get jet sweeps. Quarterback can run. Tight ends can catch and block.
Lynch, boy, did he make the most of that, as Anthony Miller continues to have a superb night here.
Lynch just makes it look easy. I mean, he is under duress. He's got Bearcat defenders all around his legs. He's falling backwards. And how about the velocity on that throw to the sideline? Accurate, arm strength, vision, athleticism. It's all there for Paxton Lynch.
Empty set here. Sam Croft is in the slot to the near side. And Lynch is going to run it again. He is capable. Kaylee.
Well, Tess, the decision has already been made by the Memphis coaching staff. If they score here, they're going for 2. I overheard an assistant telling the players so they can get personnel ready.
That would give them the touchdown margin if that was the case. Trying to make it 46-39.
I think, Kaylee, you got to have that mindset. You know, you got to know, hey, you know, you're going to need to be up by at least a touchdown.
And they may have that opportunity as it's going to be 1st and goal. Sam Kraft to the 5-yard line.
Yeah, field goals aren't going to win you this game. At this point now, I mean, both offenses have woken up again here in the second half, and they're just trading blows. This is really, again, where Memphis has been efficient. Down here in the red zone, capitalizing, putting a punctuation mark on these drives. Scoring touchdowns, not walking away with kicks.
245-pound Jarvis Cooper is in the backfield. And he just is able to fall forward for maybe a half a yard.
Cooper down inside the 5.
With the success, I think, that Memphis has had in the second half, and with the damage Paxton Lynch has done with his legs, this is an area, too, where defensively you've got to be concerned about big number 12 on a zone read or on a quarterback draw or moving the pocket, potentially hurting you with his feet.
They go back to Kraft, and Kraft, touchdown, Memphis. What a game. What a game this is. Cincinnati at one end, and now Memphis on the other is looking to grab a full touchdown margin here.
Look at Paxton Lynch in the huddle, firing up the troops, getting everybody ready, understanding how big of a down and distance this is right now. They need this. Field goals aren't going to do it. Anticipating that Cincinnati is going to keep scoring. Big play in this game.
Quick huddle. Get the snap out. Rolling out. Can he do it on his own? Yes, Paxton Lynch. 46-39.
Well, Memphis able to capitalize this drive. The nice counter run by Sam Kraft. They needed the two-point conversion to make it a touchdown game, and Paxton Lynch calls his own number. The shootout continues.
That's the big man carrying the high hopes of all these local fans after years of struggles. Memphis is looking good. 3-0, 10-game win streak. Good crowd here at the Liberty Bowl, and a back-and-forth battle of 1,057 combined yards and 11 lead changes against Cincinnati.
We are.
Don't worry. We're here, and you're here with us. Sit back and enjoy it. And all Hayden Moore has done is pass for 427 yards on the other end. And here goes Green. Deion Green. First down for Cincinnati out at the 42-yard line. Quickly get it to Morrison.
Morrison's a good little player.
Sure is.
Yeah, he's just really
very active tonight.
Really dependable. He's had a big game. You know, that was Matty Mox, quarterback from Missouri. That was his go-to receiver in high school, back in the state of Ohio. Morrison right now leading his team with 8 catches, already over 130 yards. Targeted 10 times.
Boy, he was crowded in that backfield. That's incomplete. It bounced before it got to Morrison. A lot of traffic back there just to even get rid of that ball.
Setting up a critical third down.
Third and 5. Can they keep the drive alive? Here comes pressure. They pick it up, and a strike to Moore. Chris Moore is loose down to the 30-yard line. How reliable has Chris Moore been? He's a little slow in getting up at the end of that play.
Watch the way they played against Miami of Ohio when Hayden Moore entered the game. It did not look like this. I don't know if Coach Fuente, I don't know if any of these fans in the stadium expected Cincinnati to remain as potent as they've been with their backup quarterback and a freshman in the game.
Green flanking Moore in the backfield. First down for Cincinnati. They only rushed 4. He has time to the end zone, and again, Max Morrison.
Teams have had success getting slot receivers ISO'd against middle linebackers from this Memphis defense. Jannard Avery, number 6, gets in that matchup. Look at 25 going right down the pipe. Number 6, a middle linebacker, has to take away the middle of the field and close it. But he can't keep up with the speed of Max Morrison.
Max Morrison, you mentioned it, played on Matty Mock's high school team back there in Ohio, where you never saw a running back. They were chucking it all the time. This is his kind of game, and now Cincinnati is an extra point away from tying it up with under 6 minutes to play. Andrew Gantz. And what else would you expect with the night we've had? How does 46-46 sound to you? The backup in a starring role. 485 and 4 touchdowns for Hayden Moore. Cincy and Memphis are putting on a show. Hayden Moore replacing Gunnar Kiel, who was injured and knocked out of the game. 485 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 fourth-quarter touchdown tosses to Max Morrison, and we are tied up at 46. 2:27 here, Memphis ball. Lynch. Quick strike right in stride as he finds Proctor.
Ball come out?
Ball out. Cincinnati's claiming they got it.
I think it came out, Joe.
Let's wait for the officials here to rule.
This was really close. When Roderick Proctor's going to the ground, Cincinnati, there were defenders trying to rip it out. It was very close before his knee hit the
Recovery
ground.
by the defense, first down.
They say Cincinnati ball.
Take a look
Watch
at this
the knee,
again.
Jesse.
Yeah, where's the knee before the ball comes out?
Not yet.
I don't know if it's down.
No, knees are not
I
down.
don't think it necessarily
Well, let's
does
watch
from
here.
that view.
There it is there, but there's already starting to get movement there.
In the football, and remember,
With the football.
And the
The
ruling
ruling
on the field,
of a fumble is under review.
the ruling on the field is a fumble, so you need indisputable video evidence to overturn this. At this point right now, the football is coming out, and it appears to me like it starts to become dislodged before that left knee touches.
After review, the runner's knee was down. The ball will be placed on the 33-yard line, first down.
How about that?
Wow. Indisputable video evidence. You need it if you're going to have a call overturned. That is interesting. You see Coach Fuente now.
Tell
talking to
me,
his
I
quarterback.
thought we had a really good look here.
Yeah, well, doesn't appear like the knee's down yet.
There's
Ball
movement of
starts
the ball
to come
right
out,
there.
and right there, that doesn't look like that knee is down. Or that one. Yeah, he doesn't have possession of the football when that knee finally touches. That's an interesting call.
So back to business is Lynch. What a throw that was to Anthony Miller. From what could have been a Cincinnati first down the other way to Paxton Lynch going over the top for a 29-yard reception to Miller.
And with that throw, they're now basically in range for kicker Jake Elliott.
Oh, he's got a leg.
Here's a guy that's 7 of 11 on kicks of 50 or more yards in his career.
They are right on that green field goal line. And now they give him a little something extra, and they may not need it based on this move.
But I think if you're Memphis now, you got to start thinking about the clock. You got to start thinking about milking the clock and keep this guy off the field. With the way he's playing tonight, you might want to start thinking about, taking your time, letting this clock wear down. You got last year's Conference Special Team Player of the Year as your kicker.
Mayhew just put them in great position down to the 20. If Elliott needs that chance.
Ball security, you cannot turn the football over, obviously, in this situation. Play calling, it becomes critical.
There's that misdirection with Kraft. And Kraft, a little bit of speed out on the edge, and then puts the shoulder and goes out of bounds. So the clock stops with 1:27 remaining. 3 timeouts left for Cincinnati.
If you're Coach Fuente, you can stay aggressive, try to get a touchdown here and really try to send a knockout shot. The issue, you see him there yelling, stay in bounds. Ball security, that tells me they want to run the football, probably center it into the middle of the field somewhere and give their kicker Jake Elliott an opportunity to kick this game and walk out of the Liberty Bowl with a dub.
Here's Kraft again. And Kraft inside the 5. His night started with struggles. Fumbled on the second play of the game. Misplayed a kickoff return. But now he puts them in prime position. First and goal, clock continues to run down. Cincy has to think about managing things now with those 3 timeouts.
Yeah, part of me wonders if you just let them score, put the timeouts in your back pocket, and then try and drive the field score a touchdown, send this thing to overtime.
Remember, they overturned what would have been a fumble and Cincinnati possession. Touchdown, Sam Kraft. Redemption for the junior running back.
Really good push right up front. They go right into the teeth of Cincinnati's defense, where they're best. 2 blocks by the center and the left guard set this crease for Sam Kraft to dart into. A fumble that looked like a fumble earlier in the drive, a call that did not go Tommy Tuberville's way. It was overturned. Memphis capitalizes with a touchdown.
Cincinnati thought that they would be, and there are some who may say maybe the best thing that happened to Cincinnati towards the end there was Kraft scoring, leaving 53 seconds in what's been borderline arena football style pace of play with offense here. And they have all 3 timeouts that they saved. Lynch was 3 for 3 on that drive for 60 yards and managed it well. Had the big pass and put them in great spot. And Moore just wants his chance.
He's already thrown for 501 yards.
Off the bench.
Off the bench with an opportunity now to go tie this game, maybe win it. They decide to go for 2 and send it in, or send it into overtime. This is incredible. Talk about this being a heavyweight fight, right, Joe? 12th round, you got to leave it all out in the field.
That's right. Nothing to lose for Cincinnati now. Here's Moore, complete at the 35 and up to the 40-yard line is Shaq Washington.
With 3 timeouts in their back pocket.
And of course the temporary stoppage of moving the chains.
An eternity for this up-tempo offense.
Little A-gap pressure here. They pick it up. And another completion. They're already past midfield to the 40-yard line is Chisholm. 3 timeouts remain, 27 seconds left. Can Cincy force overtime?
98 plays. I mean, they're approaching a 100 plays of offense.
He's been slicing up this defense to start this drive.
And that may explain why this pass rush from Memphis isn't necessarily getting home, but they may just be tired having been on the field so much.
99th play for Cincinnati. And it's another good one. Shaq Washington inside the 20.
That was a really strange throw and catch. It looked like that football almost slipped out of Moore's hand. He tried to take something off of it. There's a mistimed jump by Shaq Washington, able to make the plays. You see it.
Here we go, folks. How will it end? Intercepted on a wild play to end a wild night. Hayden Moore tried to ad-lib, and they slammed the door right in his face. Leonard Pegues, interception.
It's the first time tonight that Hayden Moore looked like a freshman. A freshman mistake late in the game. See his coach there telling him, hey, you got to either throw that away. Even if you take a sack, we've got 2 timeouts. We can stop the clock. Give us a chance. Check out up front. There's movement, running a stunt here, crossing. One of their best pass rushers, linebacker Jannard Avery, is able to get to the quarterback and he just carelessly, blindly tosses the football up, hoping for an incompletion. And Joe, a huge win for Memphis. You win them however you can get them. They've had to win 2 shootouts now in 2 consecutive weeks. But this is a team that you got to keep your eye on with respect to a New Year's Six bowl game. If they can go unbeaten here in American play, they have a huge barometer litmus test coming up at home October 17th against Ole Miss.